Norristown, Phil, because although Norristown has one of their big studs coming up in Marcus Smith, the heavyweight match is going to be a tough one, with the Penridge wrestler Sean Wolfram a prohibitive favorite.
Split the remaining two matches, which would leave the lead in the hands of Penridge.
Right, as it is right now, Penridge has the lead 26-17. So unless we have a major upset at heavyweight, Norristown could come up in the short end of this one. But right now we have Marcus Smith in the 189-pound weight class for Norristown, who has a 20-2 record, 20 wins and 2 losses. And both of his losses were to Tyrone Howard of Bensalem, who is one of the also one of the high-ranked wrestlers in the area. Right now, Marcus Smith is ranked 2nd in his weight class at 189. And he throws a headlock on Poster of Penridge, and he's got him down, but Poster worked his way out of it. So I think Smith is going to end up with a 2-point takedown. And were there any back points there?
I didn't see any awarded.
I guess he didn't award him any back points.
I thought he was doing a count, but I didn't see how.
Wow. Looked like Smith had Poster down on his back in a bad way, but he didn't award any back points.
Well, actually, I never even saw the takedown awarded, even though it was a takedown.
Yeah.
And the points are on the board.
Yeah, right now the score stands 2-0 in the favor of Marcus Smith of Norristown. Now he's got that half Nelson in deep. Now Smith is going for those back points, but he just can't seem to put them away here. He's got him on his back. Now the referee's counting out those points. There's 15 seconds left in the first period. Smith is going to have at least a 5-0 lead here, but he'd like to have that pin. And the first period comes to a close. The referee does award the 3 points for near fall for Marcus Smith, who now has a 5-0 lead against B.J. Poster of Penridge. And I'll tell you, Poster looks like he's hurting already. It's only been the first period. And he's hurting out there. Smith is a tenacious wrestler. He went right at Poster. He knows his team needs some points fast. Well, a pin here would bring Norristown to within 4 points. But as we mentioned earlier, Penridge's big stud is Sean Wolfram at heavyweight. Now, Dave Lockwood, Norristown's kid, is no slouch. He's a good wrestler, but as we mentioned before, he's only a freshman. So he's going to have his hands full with Wolfram. I don't know if Poster's going to be able to finish this one out here. What do you think, Phil?
I mean, he looks like a tough kid. I think he'll continue if he possibly can. He sure managed to squirm out of a couple of predicaments that Marcus had him in there. It looked like he was locked up, and he managed to get out.
Yeah. Now it looks like we're going back to action here now. Start of the second period. Marcus Smith gets his choice. Referee seems to be asking him what choice he wants. He takes neutral. Marcus Smith is a good takedown man, so he's gonna try the neutral position against Poster. Tries to shoot in for a double, but Poster sprawls back, but Smith works his way in there anyway, picks him up, puts him on his back, but Now he's got the 2. He almost took him over too far. Well, he's got him on his back, but it's off the mat, so he won't get any points for that one. But he did get the 2 points for takedown, and now we have a 7-0 lead for Marcus Smith of Norristown. Back to action now. Marcus Smith in control. BJ Poster. He's a tight waist to break him down. Now looks like he's working up for wrist control. Now he's got the half Nelson. Up, took him over too far again. Poster almost rolled his way out of that one. But Smith maintains control. What year is Marcus Smith, Phil?
Junior.
He's a junior. Okay, so he'll have another year under the tutelage of Coach Arn. And there's the pin. So there's the much needed 6 points for Norristown, which brings Norristown within 4 points, 26-22. Marcus Smith getting the pin for Norristown. Now we're coming up to the final bout of the evening, the heavyweight bout. It all comes down to this match. Norristown needs a win here, at least a major decision to tie, and a tech fall or a pin for a win. Now, looks to me like Wolfram is not a big heavyweight.
No, but he does have an excellent record. What, hey. Something like 20-2, George?
Yeah, 22-2, 22 wins. So this guy's obviously no slouch. He goes right in on a single leg on Dave Lockwood. Lockwood cross faces his way out of it. As we say, Lockwood is no slouch. He's given Norristown some good matches this year, some good wins. Right now the wrestlers are tied up. It looks like Wolfram wants that leg. He keeps going in for that right leg of Lockwood's. That's probably his pet move. Lockwood went in for a leg, but Wolfram countered with a whizzer. Looks like Lockwood wants to keep him tied up so that Wolfram can't go in for that leg. Wolfram got around behind Lockwood, got around the waist and took him back for the 2-point takedown. Dave's trying to get up to his base, but Wolfram's keeping the pressure on, trying to work that half Nelson. But Dave is able to stand up. Wolfram brings him back again, brings him to the mat. Dave stands up again, but they go out of bounds. Well, this heavyweight weight class is sometimes a mismatch when you have a real big kid.
The weights don't seem to be too much different tonight.
No, they don't. Wolfram is not that big a heavyweight. He looks fairly strong, but I'd say that Lockwood probably even weighs more than Wolfram. The limit to this weight class is 275, I believe, isn't it, Phil?
I'm not sure of the heavyweight limit this year.
I think it's 275, which means you could have a kid weighing 190 going up against a kid weighing 275, which would definitely be a mismatch. Well,
they have changed the weight classes this year, dropping the 98-pound category. They were having a hard time filling that weight
Well, as the first period comes to a conclusion, Wolfram has a 2-0 lead. Lockwood kind of dropped to the mat, but I guess maybe that was more of an exhaustion than an injury. He seems to be okay now. Lockwood's in the top position. Let's see if he can hold Wolfram down. No, he can't. Wolfram comes right around with a switch for a 2-point reversal. Lockwood trying to work his way up. Wolfram trying to maintain control. Wolfram working the leg now. Looks like he's trying to work some kind of a tilt. He's got Lockwood broken down now. Dave's having a tough time here because he's finding himself wrestling from his stomach most of the match here. Wolfram keeping the pressure on him at all times. Now he's trying to work Dave over. He's hooked the arm. But Lockwood fights back to his chest. Now Wolfram's got a half Nelson in. He's out to the side. Lockwood's a fighter. He's not rolling over easy, that's for sure. This kid is, I believe he's the second-ranked heavyweight in southeastern Pennsylvania, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check my figures here. Well, we have him here listed at 5th, which isn't too shabby. And the second period comes to a conclusion now. Looks like Lockwood's calling for some injury time here. He's been getting worked over here by Sean Wolfram. He's battling him, but as we said before, Wolfram's one of the top wrestlers in the area, so Dave has his hands full tonight. Well, he's up.
Dave came up through the midget program and the middle school program. And I'm sure he'll have some success as he gets up there towards his junior and senior year.
Well, I think it's very unusual for a freshman to be a heavyweight. Usually you find your upperclassmen in the heavyweight ranks. So he's been wrestling juniors and seniors all season and holding his own too, I might add. I've seen him in a number of matches already this year, and he's done a great job for Norristown. And as you say, Phil, I'm sure in the years to come he's going to be a heavyweight to contend with in District 1.
I was doing a little prognosticating into the future myself, and I was wondering if Marcus Smith is going to be able to stay at 189 next year. Because what would happen then is you'd have York having trouble maintaining 171, Marcus having trouble at 189, and probably pushing Lockwood out of the picture.
Well, that might be true. I don't know. In my opinion, I think that Marcus Smith might be a small heavyweight, though.
Well, that's it. But will he get bigger? That's the question.
Well, that's interesting speculation there, and I'm sure Coach Harner has thought about that, or at least considered it, and he's probably trying to work on that problem himself. Well, the wrestlers go out of bounds now with Sean Wolfram of Penn Ridge with a 6-0 lead over Dave Lockwood of Norristown. We have 55 seconds left in this last bout of the evening, with Penn Ridge enjoying a 26-22 team score lead over Norristown. And Phil, it doesn't look like Norristown's going to be able to pull this one out.
No, I'm afraid Dave he's getting punished. He may avoid getting pinned, but he's absorbing a lot of punishment.
And I guess we could look back to some of those crucial matches earlier in the evening that didn't go Norristown's way. That might have been the turning point. So these are two closely contested teams here, and it's a shame one of them has to lose, but that's the way it's going to be tonight, as the last few seconds of this Norristown-Penridge meet are drawing to a close. We have 9 seconds left in the third period, and Dave Lockwood has been battling Sean Wolfram hard, but hasn't been able to come up with a big move yet to score the points that he needs. So Penridge is going to go home a winner tonight, and that's going to probably shoot Norristown down to the 5th position in the Colonial Division. Well, that's the final buzzer here for the last match and the last home meet of Norristown School District. The final score, 29 for Penridge, 22 for Norristown. And Phil, do you have any closing comments here?
No, as you said, there were a couple of crucial matches, one of which was that last second turnabout in the Jim York versus Jim York match. Of course, Norristown would have had to win 2 of the close ones,
right,
to overcome that 7-point deficit. The match, I believe, was way back at Ty's weight, or was it Patel? Was it Patel that we thought had the back points that he never picked up?
Right.
That wound up being very significant in that particular matchup.
Right.
So it could very well have gone Norristown's way. And of course, one of the things about wrestling is, as you well know, sometimes you both have your really good guys at one weight, and the matchups turn out that whoever wins those weight classes very often winds up taking the whole thing.
Okay, well, if you've enjoyed tonight's match, why don't you give Norristown High School a call, tell them you enjoy watching wrestling, and maybe next year we can bring you some more matches. We haven't been able to bring you too many matches this year, and so that wraps things up. This is George Frisch along with Phil Giovinco for Norristown Area High School Wrestling. See you next time.
Good luck.